All right, good morning. Good morning. Happy you guys are here with me. Super excited to be with you. Really just getting into some really uh, great topics in regards to focusing on top trends for the month of January and definitely moving forward. If you are joining me live today, super excited that you are here. Definitely shout out where you're watching from. If this is your first time watching me live, let me know as well. It's just something we normally do inside of my Etsy private membership community. This is where we go live every week talking about top trends, the latest strategies to sell on Etsy, how to, get more sales, what type of designs to target. And so if you're joining me today, one of the things that we have done was we just, shared this out with all the people who are willing to jump on and learn with us in this free training for you all who are not in the membership. But the goal of today's video is just to give massive value, right? Because I know there's a lot of people setting new goals, trying to achieve new things, but sometimes we just need some direction. Sometimes we just need some encouragement. And I know sometimes it's tough watching random videos from a little bit of everybody. So my goal in today's video is to really make it simple, right? Make it plain in such a way that you know what designs to target, you know what designs to create, you know the keywords you need to be using and how to list those products. And so if you're ready to jump into today's training, let me know. Now, just as a preference, just as a preference, everything I'm talking about today is going to be tools and resources that we're grabbing from my Etsy membership community, particularly focusing on my creator prompt tool. If you've been anywhere around my channel watching anything from me, then you know that one of the main ways I create all of my products for my Etsy business is solely based upon my custom built tool, the creator prompt AI tool. The reason for that is because I built it because of my personal needs, but I know that is also going to help you with your needs. We're able to scale out products very quickly. One of the things that people struggle with is finding the right prompt to get the right design. And so you'll see in today's video as we demo a lot of this here is going to be very practical. It's not going to be a lot of fluff here. I'm just going to share with you my daily process of how to get designs up. This is a money making tool here where the primary goal for you is to find designs, list them, and start getting sales. And so again, this alleviates the need to have long, lofty prompts. You'll see we'll utilize some images as references that we can remix and redesign to create something new. You'll find some great resources in our smart SEO area here just to speed up the entire process so you know the right SEO keywords and terms you're using. And then I'll share with you some fun things we can do with mockups. But if you are here for the first time ever watching me live, let me know. Let me get some time to the chat this morning. Good to see Nick here with us. Says, I'm excited to get started. Super excited that you are here. Reham is with us. Hello, Reham. Nick is watching from Northern California. So super excited you are here joining me live. Someone's watching us from Wake Forest, North Carolina. Super excited you are here. Reham is watching from Morocco. So super excited. We got friends all over the world today. Our friends watching from Georgia. Good to have you here. Suzanne is watching from South Carolina. And Jackie is watching as well, I believe from London, Britain. I hope I got the flags right. So super excited that you're here. June is here also. June says my first time watching. So super excited that you are here. Again, if you do want to get access to all things I'm talking about today, shameless plug, but again, it's really helpful. The Etsy membership community is there to guide you from start to finish in regards to what to sell on Etsy. And so again, we have tons of things already lined up. One of the reasons why a lot of folks join the membership is because they get access to my daily prompts that we give, that share with you top trends of what is selling right now on Etsy. So this is always current. But the cool part about this is that I just don't share with you what is selling, but I give you the tools to recreate this yourself. So whatever you're looking at is coming from a tool that will help you create the same exact thing, keywords and all those things. And you can kind of see where we're going today in today's video, because if you're not creating things for Valentine's Day, my friends, you're definitely missing out on some sales. And so I just want to share that with you. All right, so now we have all the pleasantries out of the way. One of the things I talk about very fervently in my community is being prepared for seasons, right? Being prepared for seasons. Etsy is a season space, right? There's people, in our case today, we're focusing on selling on-demand products. In our case today, we're focusing selling on P&G products, either be tumbler wraps or t-shirt P&Gs, which is kind of what I teach in the membership. And so because we are that particular business, right, we're offering designs for people to use on their products, or we're selling products based upon a specific season that people want to purchase. We have to make sure that we have two things in mind, and we're going to talk about one side of that today. We have to make sure that we're designing evergreen products. So if you're new to this space, and maybe evergreen is something new, right? That terminology is something new. Evergreen simply means something that is green all year round, right? Something that never loses its leaves, doesn't change color. It's something that's always in demand on a yearly basis. So that's your mom shirts or your fishing dad tees or whatever the case might be. Those products that people will find interesting all year round. But when we talk about seasonal products, it's those little pops and those trends and those interests throughout the year, specific places where that there is a specific interest. Like we just got done with one, right? A major one was Christmas, Thanksgiving, all right? Back to school, breast cancer awareness. Those are those type of peaks that there's going to be a high influx of interest that we definitely want to start creating and designing for, right? And so what I teach is we want to cover both bases, right? It's because we don't want to just focus on seasonal products, because again, like folks who just only focus on Christmas, they're probably not getting a lot of sales now. So we want to focus on seasonal products as well as evergreen products. All right, take a deep breath with me. Whoo! Today we're focusing on seasonal products because there's a huge season that's coming up doing massive in sales. And I want to share with you what that is, what to create, how to create it, and how to list it. And it's all about Valentine's Day. Now, the cool part about this is that when you jump into Etsy, they kind of already tell you what to do, right? Kind of like when you walk into your Walmart or your Walgreens or your Target, you start seeing these little pop-ups of the season that's already showing. That's an indicator for us to let us know we probably need to start creating things in that space. So top trend for today's video is all about Valentine's Day. Now, the thing about this is that if you were to go in here and search up, let's just say in our case today, Valentine's Day P&G, which is our focus. Why P&G? Because honestly, if you're selling anything print on demand, you'll probably need to do some research in the P&G space, because, well, side note, the people that's selling physical products are probably getting their design or design inspiration from the P&G designs, right? So either you're selling P&G products or physical products, you probably need to spend most of your time doing your research in the P&G space. Now, if you see this, there's a lot of things that I love to look at, right? If you're new to selling on Etsy, Lisa's here with us today. Hello, Lisa, watching from California. Jackie says, yes, it is. Yes, London, UK. So good to see Jackie here. Monica's here as well from Sweden. Hello. So if you're jumping into Etsy and you're not sure what to target, right? This might be common knowledge or maybe new knowledge for you. But the things I like to look at are things that have the bestsellers badge or the popular nows. Now, let's break this down, because this might be confusing. Like, Etsy, why do you have both here, right? Why we have the bestsellers badge and also the popular nouns? Well, if you head over to a best-selling product, which honestly probably right now everything that's on Valentine's Day is probably not going to be a bestseller right now, and I'm going to share with you why. And this is going to be so important when we're trying to target the right type of products, right? So here's a shirt here that's a best-selling product. Of course, we're going to give privacy to the shop owner, so let's be mindful of that. But the reason why I bring this up is to clarify a little bit what a bestseller is as opposed to a popular now product, and why popular now is kind of where you want to be focusing on in regards to your product. So look at this real quick. I don't know if y'all can see this, but I'll read it for you. Etsy tells us, when I hover over that bestsellers badge, guess what it tells us? It tells us that this is a product that has a high sales volume in the last 6 months. Now, that's great, because we want to target best-selling products, no doubt about it, right? Because they're making sales. But the thing that's kind of iffy about best-selling products is we don't know necessarily how it is doing currently right now, because it's taking in the last 6 months. Maybe it's done well in the first month that it was released, or maybe it has done well in the last month, or maybe in the middle of the 6 months. We don't know. But when you head over to these popular nows are indicators letting us know that, yes, it is a best-selling product. Yes, it is a best-selling product. We have a bestseller here. But when we have this popular now badge, that means this is a product that has been recently released or recently have a influx in regards to sales. So when you do your product research, you may not see currently right now a lot of bestsellers, quote unquote, bestseller badges on the search for Valentine's Day. Why is that? Because no one was really interested in Valentine's Day like 4 months ago. Maybe you're a different person and you're always involved with Valentine's Day, come on. But for Etsy, right, this is something that's coming up. So we know that popular nouns are good to target. If y'all already knew that, let me know. I just kind of want to cover that basis here because I'm going to share with you a secret hack. It's really not a hack, just a simple tip to actually understand which products you want to target. So here we are on Etsy. We're focusing on PNGs because this is where designs are birthed from, right? So we don't want to just head over to t-shirts or coffee mugs. Trust me, go to PNGs, and this is where you're going to find these top designs being birthed on Etsy that we can use for whatever products. So here we are. We're identifying popular nouns because popular nouns let us know it is probably gaining a huge influx in sales in the past couple of weeks, and is also probably a great indicator of a product that has just been released. That's why, again, seasonal products and identifying popular nouns are so important. Now, here's the thing. Which one would you get started with? Just out of curiosity, I have 4 things up on the screen today. Just let's call this number 1 right here, right? This is number 1. This is number 2. This is number 3. This is number 4. Which one would you get started selling or recreating or designing? Just give me 1, 2, 3, 4s. Hopefully no one will say 2. Hopefully no one will say 2 because 2 is trademark. Yeah, right. Disney is trademark, so we definitely don't want to do that. So here's the thing, right? We kind of don't know, right? Maybe it's something from our own personal interest, or maybe we saw some things work well back in some other seasons that we'll extract and pull out here, right? Maybe it's just a personal, touch that we have for our own interest. All those things are fair, right? Because I believe that you should create things within your passion, because if not, you're going to get tired, you're going to get exhausted, and it's not going to be fun, right? Selling on Etsy should be fun. Sometimes, of course, we got to create what the market wants. But even within what the market wants, there's things that we like too. So sure, there might be some things that you might sell different from our friends that's in the chat. Totally agree. I see a lot of 1s here. I see some 4s. I see some 3s. Susan said 1. Jackie says 4. There's a lot of friends saying 3. I'm so glad no one's saying 2. I'm glad no one's saying 2. I see that we got a lot of people who love number 4. Not a lot of people liking 3s. I don't know what's going on with the 3s here. All right. But okay, cool. So we know to stay away from trademark. That should be something that, honestly, by this time, for the amount of good folks who create videos on YouTube, we should know that by now. Right. So here's the thing, right? Without any additional data, it's very hard to determine which one to create. Right. So if you realize here, we're doing a lot of talking about data before we create designs. Why is that? Because the data needs to drive our design. So which one do we create first? Now, if you're using tools like Everbee, obviously it's going to show you, right? Kind of hidden that for a reason. It's going to show you, right? Those extra tools like Everbee, maybe Marmalade you're using. I don't know what you're using today, but I personally use Everbee because it's just right here. Just make it easy, right? Everbee is kind of estimating data here, right? So we see this one here has 20 sales in the last 30 days, 28 sales in the last 30 days, 70 sales in the last, 30 days here. And this one says 0 sales. So here's the point that I also want to make. Are these tools helpful? Absolutely, they're helpful, right? They give us an estimated thought or path in regards to which ones we probably need to focus on and which ones we might need to stay away from. But here's the funny part. Have you guys noticed that this popular now product here, the number 4 that you guys said you wanted to create, it says no sales on this, right? The question is, how can it have no sales and it is a popular now? If I open this up, Etsy tells me that it has 20 people in the cart and it doesn't have a bestsellers badge on it yet, but it has already have a popular now. That's a great indicator. Why is that? Because it's probably been released in the last couple of days. It already have people in the cart, and that's a good indicator. Here's a cool thing with this. Even if you don't have Everbee, if you don't even have any tool, here's a little hack or easy tip to identify, how well these products have done. Now, this is not going to work for every product. When we go live, it's not planned, right? It's not cut, edit. You see what I see, you get what you get. So here's what I do, though. I want to share with you my process. When I see this, I like to simply add things to the cart, right? No, I'm not going to purchase that, but I'm just simply adding things to the cart. I'm going to add this one to the cart as well. I'm going to skip over number 4 or number 2, add this one to the cart. Now, sometimes this works, sometimes this doesn't, but I just want to share with you what you should be seeing. Notice what we have here that's different. Now we have some indicators on the right hand side of our screen. It's showing us what is in the cart. Now, of course, we're not going to buy these things, but we are getting further indicators from Etsy how well these things have been doing. Now, here's the cool part here. It shows us what I call this red in demand. That means this is hot signal from Etsy. I mean, it's coming straight from Etsy, so there's no estimating here. They have all the data, right? Everbee, Marmalade, E-Rank, they're all estimating. Right. But when it comes down to what Etsy is showing you, that hot red in demand signal, Etsy is giving you real time data from their actual interaction from their shoppers. So what is this telling us here? Number one, you'll see how many folks have this item in the cart. This one here, I don't know if y'all can see it. If I can make it a little bit bigger, let's see, a little too big. OK, bring it down, Jay. All right, I got it. All right. So this one here says 181 people have had this in the cart. So if you guys said number one was that product you want to target, great, because guess what? 181 people have it in the cart. And not only that, catch this, friends, 53 people bought this in the last 24 hours. This is huge because before we start designing, we need to identify where people are spending their money, because the data should drive the type of products we design. So again, number one will be a great product to target, because if you do this little hack or this little tip with Etsy, you're able to see where you need to spend your time and how to start lining up or categorizing your designs that you should focus on. So this one, 53 products in the last 24 hours. For my friends who are selling t-shirts or coffee mugs or sweatshirts, you probably need to design something like this, because there's already a host of people who are buying these type of things. Don't copy them. Don't buy the same thing as them, but definitely learn from the design and what is selling well and how you can add some value to that, right? Let's keep on moving on. Let's go down a little bit further. This one here has 861 people in the cart, but only 18 people bought it in the last 24 hours. This one here has 75 people have it in the cart, 10 views. I'm going to let this one slide a little bit because I know, because they don't have a bestsellers badge, this one's probably doing extremely well, so we'll let that one slide. The reason why I'm giving you this information is because, excuse me, there's a lot of data you can do before you even start, grabbing resources and tools outside of Etsy. Most of this information is already here. I would add this one to the cart and see as well. Again, 61 people have this in the cart, 15 bought it in the last 24 hours. So here's the thing, friends. Not only are we gathering data before we start designing. Yes, I know the fun part is designing. It's fun for me too. I get it. Trust me, I get it. But we want to make sure that we're not designing in the dark, right? Most of the Etsy shops I reviewed, some of my members can attest to this. When I review their shops and see their listings, I always say, well, how do we know that that design is selling well? How can you prove to me, Jay, this is the reason why I'm selling this, because I found some data on this that proves this could do well for me potentially. So we always want to prove things by data before we start designing. Here's a great way to do that. So if you didn't know that hack, hopefully that can help you out. And here's the cool part. Not only are we gathering, data points here to figure out where we should start creating, but here's what I also like doing. I like creating a list of things I need to design. Here's the thing. When you start adding things to the cart, guess what you're naturally doing? You're starting to create what I call a hyper-focused list of best-selling products you should create. So here it is. Here's another product here, right? 513 people have it in the cart. 25 people bought this in the last 24 hours here. Guess what? This is probably going to be another product I add to my list to redesign and recreate, not copying here. And I have to keep saying that because, again, if you create a copy of this, number one, is wrong. Number two, it's not going to sell anyway. What I teach is find a design, use that as a image reference, and then remix it, twist it up, change it up, but create within the bounds of what is working. That's how sales are made, right? So here's the cool part. When you add things to the cart, Jackie and Susan and Lisa and Barbara and Pat and all our friends here with us, got 27 friends here, you are naturally creating a list of things you should start creating. And this is the beauty of having this add to cart, because you're able to focus on things that are making you sales. Now, a little quick note as well. Honestly, we can have this video training any time of the year, because, little side note, before we start designing, the fun things here, designing, usually what I find to work well for the current season is something that has worked well for the previous season. Let me kind of test that real quick as I'm here with you. And let me know as well in the chat if you saw the same things, maybe some designs you see on Valentine's Day you found to really do well during Christmas. That's the whole point here. You can see that some of these designs that are selling well for Valentine's Day have actually sold for Christmas. And here's a little side note. If you have not seen a design that's merged over into Valentine's Day, but has done extremely well during Christmas, that might be a current trend that has not yet had a path on Valentine's Day with Etsy. For instance, if I see this product here, it's just I have goosebumps with this goose here, was a bestseller for Christmas, or this Highland cow with this beautiful bow here, obviously focusing on snowflakes with Christmas. My initial thought is, okay, yes, it's good to chase trends of the current season like we're doing here, right? We have current trends from the current season for Valentine's Day. We're chasing them. We're learning from them. We're getting in here early. But how about you be somebody who set trends? And the way you were able to set trends is go back in the previous season, see what was trending in the previous season, and then apply this style over into a Valentine's Day style that can do extremely well. And yes, friend, I'm going to share with you how to do that too. Okay. So that's the overall point. I just want to stress you're not going to be too long, not going to be the dead horse here, but I just want to share with you how I think about data, because that's so important when you create designs, right? You don't want to just create things because you think they're going to sell well. You want to create things based upon data. All right. If you're still here with me, give me the number one. If you're still tracking with me, if you're excited to get started to see these things really come to life with the designs, give me number one. Give me number one in the chat, so I know you're still here with me. We've got 29 folks in the chat today. If you are someone who has not jumped into the membership, I would encourage you to go ahead and jump in. Now's a great time. These products are selling off the shelves here. And what I'm going to share with you, what I'm going to demo with you right here is how to create them. I'm going to share with you how our members are creating these, how my mother, who is 60 plus years old, is creating these herself. This is probably the easiest way for anyone who don't know AI and prompting to create things with AI, because you don't have to have any prompting. I'm going to share that with you right now. All right. So that being said, I kind of already prefaced that, but we're going to go ahead and jump in. I'm going to add these things to the cart. Jay, why are you adding these things to the cart? Because now this has become a part of my list of things I want to create. All right, here we go. So we're going to go ahead and jump into my Creative Prompt AI tool. This is a custom built tool I built for my Etsy membership community to really make it easy. And you all who are in the membership, y'all know it's easy to really create amazing designs without having a lot of prompting. So let me walk you through what's on this site here. Mainly, when I talk about it's kind of focused on creating designs, but there's so much here. We have our AI generator. We have tons of templates that you can grab and use and remix. We have our niche finder. This is different from the niche master. How so? Because we give you a whole lot more product categories. We give you a whole lot more micro niches to target here. And we give you more options here to pick a custom category. So for you all who jumped on my free niche master, you kind of have a light version of this. For you all who are in the membership, we have the massive version of this, right? Because I know there might be some products that I don't talk about that you sell. That's why we have that custom product category. You can plug in stickers, planners, tote bags, I don't know, cutting boards, which is obviously doing well too. So that's there. Then we have the smart SEO tool, and I'm a big fan of bulk anything, right? Bulk resizing, bulk creating, bulk SEOing, bulk listing, because it saves so much time. There's a lot of bulk features here as well, and a lot more too. So just hang out with us a little bit. All right. So the fun part here, as we start designing, is we're going to get into the Remix Studio. Before I get to the Remix Studio, let me just share with you some designs I was able to create from the Remix Studio. Here it is. I did not create any of these by scratch. All of these were created with the same process I'm going to share with you. I was able to find a top selling product. I was able to understand the trend in the market. I was able to remix this design. Maybe this probably said heart. I wanted to say learn. This was probably focused on a nurse niche. I wanted to focus on a teacher niche. And I was able to create these type of products here, all based upon the tool I'm going to share with you. So that's why I say if you're not in the membership, I would encourage you. Honestly, I think my membership is probably the lowest price value because you get AI generation, you get research data points with the top trends. You get a lot of stuff. So again, just check out all the information in the link that I posted up there. You'll be able to see a lot of those things there. So you get a lot of it here, which saves you, again, a lot of money when you try to buy random subscriptions from a lot of people. Kind of everything is right here at one time. But anyway, I was able to create all these here from the Creative Prompt tool. Again, none of these things are created by scratch. All of these are geared towards best-selling products. You've probably seen some of these already that's selling on Etsy pretty well, and we were able to create all of these. I'm going to share with you how to do that now. And as you can see, I'm creating in fours. I'm creating in fours. And the cool thing about the Remix Studio here is that you are able to create these designs in bulk as well. So you don't have to worry about creating one at a time. You're able to create these things in bulk, create these things in fours, and get amazing designs like you see here, all from, again, not prompting, just getting a reference image, maybe put in a few words, but none of that, long paragraph, 5-paragraph essay of prompts, unless you want to, but you don't have to, which is the overall point. All right. So let's go ahead and jump in. All right, here we are in our Remix Studio. Let me walk you through the Remix Studio here. This is where we're able to put in a custom prompt if you want here. The cool thing about this is I have already put in the work for you. So if you are creating t-shirts, sweatshirts, PNG designs, really anything that is a PNG, you probably need to just click on the prompt that I have here. I already did the hard work for you, so you don't have to worry about any prompting. You can choose a background color. What I found to work well to remove backgrounds is gray, sometimes white as well. You have the option here to put in your prompt. And here's the cool part. You're able to scale your variations up to 4. Yes, I have a little bit higher. I get it. But for all the folks in my membership, you're able to scale this up to 4, which really makes it easy, as you're going to see here, to create great designs. And then we have some advanced remixing if you want scaling for particular things. If you want to have every design to be different, we have that option as well. But here's the cool part that most people don't have. We have the option here to put in a reference image number 1 and a reference image number 2, where the AI will look at it and it will create it based upon that. All right, I'll explain it out of the way. I know what you came here for. You want to see the designs. Me too. All right, so let's go ahead and do this real quick. So this is my normal process. Again, we're doing this live. So you all know, if you've been playing with AI, sometimes AI works, sometimes AI doesn't work. So we're here together. We're going to do this together. But I like doing this live so you can see my process, my work through, my walkthrough, so you know kind of how I'm thinking as I'm working. So when I do find a product, as we have done here, found all these products that sell well, I like to go in here and again, see which ones are selling well, see which ones we can create. I like this one here. This one's looking nice here. I like that one where it says, love never fails. Great Bible verse here. Again, we're going to give preference to the shop owner, so let us not look at what they're selling here. But here's the cool part. I'm able to back out a little bit. I'm able to grab this as a reference image because our AI is going to use it to help us sell. Our AI is going to use it to help us sell. So from here, I want to go ahead and copy the image. I know you can't see me copying the image, but I am. I'm going to jump back over into my Remix Studio. I want to head over to the image reference here, paste this in. And now, as you see here, I have a reference image that I'm going to use. Now, to make this a little bit easier, I just want to crop over the actual space I want to use. And again, we're using this as a reference, not to copy. So we have it here. Now, without putting in any prompts here, I told the AI model to look at the reference image, but give a very different design. Stay true to the colors, stay true to the style, but give something different. So when we hit the results, you're possibly going to see something different because that's what's baked into the program. I'm going to scale this to be 4 variations. Again, let me just be clear here. We're not putting in any prompts. So we'll see what we can gather as a result. All right, so here's what we were able to gather as a result. You can see, again, just how much of a difference we were able to get. Again, if we go back to the original here, as you can see, it was all about hearts. But just very quickly here, we was able to focus on, again, this one here, hot air balloons. Again, we didn't give the AI any direction, but you can see how well you were able to create prompts, necessarily create designs without having any prompts. Now, this one here obviously came out kind of true to what the design was, but even at the bottom here, you can see that the text is entirely different. Again, we can see this one as well, brought in flowers. I mean, look how easy this is, right? To go from just an image into something different, right? Without any prompting. This one here could sell in itself. Again, not bringing in the same type of flowers, a little bit different here. And again, this one here, bringing in these type of hearts that I think came out pretty cool and a little bit different. So again, this is what you get as you are doing these type of things here. Again, use this as a reference image like we asked it to make this a little bit different. Now, here's the cool part. Let's just say, for instance, if we kind of want to do something different here, maybe we don't want there to be maybe hearts here. Maybe we just want these to be different. We could put in a prompt here to give the AI more direction. Here's the thing. The prompt that we're going to put in here is going to be very small, very minute, because we're not going to put in a long prompt. So all I'm going to say here is make the elements geese, right? Let's say playful geese. Playful geese, and make the theme here, if I can spell theme, about teachers. All right, so here we have it, right? We have a Valentine's Day design here, very strong with hearts, no animals at all in here, focus on the Christian niche, nothing regarding teachers. But I gave a simple prompt, as I said, and all of us can do this. You don't need to have a course on prompting. All of us can put in a basic idea here where I said make the elements playful geese and make the theme about teachers. All right, so make the theme about teachers, and we even say a little more with the text. Well, you know what? We're just going to leave out with the text and see what the AI can think about. Right? We're going to keep it at scale variation 4. We're going to go ahead and generate, and again, we'll see what the AI will do for us. Again, it's all testing. The reason why I like creating variations of 4 is because you never know which ones you're going to get. And really, if you wind up getting some really good ones, you never know which one is going to sell well. So I don't like creating one design at a time. I like creating in bulk because you don't know what you're going to get. So I like to save time by creating in bulk. All right, here's the original design we had here. Let's see together what AI was able to do. Automatically, very different, highly different. And if I found a geese type of design that's so well on Etsy, and I want to merge it over into the style to create something different, and maybe we found a geese design and a teacher design to sell well, you're able to see again what we had, what we started off with this, but just with a very simple prompt. We said make this about geese and make this about teachers, and this is what we were able to get. And I think that came out extremely well. This could be a great design, right, based upon data of what is already selling well. We know the geese is selling well. We know this type of floral heart type of things are selling well. We know text at the bottom is selling well, something inspirational. Again, based upon data, we have found similar design styles to work well, but we just changed it up to be focused on the geese, focused on the teacher, and without any major prompting, we were able to get this. Again, that saves so much time. Here's another example here. Why did it bring all this in here? Because we said made it about teacher. Again, we can see this came out well also. That well also. Again, notice how the text also came out great as well. Again, very great script font text. We see it to work well all over the place. Very good style, very good coloring. As you guys know who've been on Etsy for a while, this is all in line with bestsellers. And again, the cool part about this is that once we found something to work well, here's a little kicker. We can go ahead and save this to my folder. So I'm saving that to my design folder. I can head over to my folder that is on Etsy, or that's on my creator prompt tool. And now, guess what? Now I have these as what I call my own digital asset. Right before we use reference images, but now when you start creating these type of designs, guess what? Now you're creating your own digital asset. You can start remixing and redesigning yourself. So let's just say, for instance, you really like this design that you were able to create. We can now click on the remix button. It's going to bring this into the remix studio. And now, right, we're able to do all things we did before, but now we have our own image as our digital asset that we can now scale up to 4 designs and create different variations from our own digital asset. That is so huge in my opinion, because when you found something that works well, now remix what you have already made. And this is great as well for you all who are selling, let's say, bundles, or selling group t-shirts, or selling something where you want some continuity. This is the great way to start scaling that out, because now you're mixing or remixing your own digital asset. And here's some great examples of that. Let's just say, for instance, we want to just focus on things with animals. Of course, we can give more direction to the AI to be focused on animals, but just share with you how far we got from the original to where we are now. Very easy, very easy, very easy to scale. And this could be a great bundle set that's, again, selling well on Etsy. Bundles are selling great on Etsy for this particular area. All right. If you're still tracking with me, let me know. Give me number 1 if you're still tracking with me. So here's the beautiful part about this, right? Not only can we use one design as a reference, but here's where things can change. Now we can use two designs as a reference. So let me go ahead and again remove all this here. So again, we're still tracking from this design here. But now let's go back into Etsy and let's just say, for instance, okay, I mean, really what it's doing. I mean, let's just really go crazy here in regards to designs. Let's go ahead and use this Highland cow, for instance. Here, this Highland cow done well during Christmas. All right, let's see if we can do something about this. As a matter of fact, let's stay with Valentine. Let's stay in that area. And that's why we're here, right? To find those top trends for Valentine. So let's stay in this area here. So let's just say, for instance, if we go down and we found, I don't know, this group of Highland cows to work well, right? They're all on the side. Highland cows having a good time here. We're going to go ahead and copy this as a reference image. Plug this in. And notice here how we're plugging this in as a second reference. Now, what I did all the work for you, I kind of put in that pre-prompt. Look at image 1 for the style, the layout, the color, the element, the theme, but use some design inspiration, just a little bit from image 2, right? And I just want to share with you how that is. So same thing as we did before. We're going to go ahead and crop this in. Again, we're not copying someone's design. I got to stress that really, really hard here because, again, copies don't sell anyway. You want to find what's working, merge two things together, create something new. That's the goal here. So we're going to go ahead and remove the prompt. The only thing we're going to do here is select the pre-prompt from the t-shirt here. No prompt. Everybody say, yay, no prompt, because we don't have to worry about no long, lofty prompts. So that's gone. We're going to use some images here just as a reference, scaling up to 4. And just as a way to remember, this is what we got last time, right? It's what we were able to get last time. Take a mental picture of that. Let's go ahead and switch out. Let's go ahead and use 2 reference images, and let's see what we get as a result before we finish up today. All right. Again, let's see what we can gather. Again, this is all live. I'm sharing with you all live, right? Share with you what I'm getting so you kind of know my work through and my walkthrough. Also, if you want access to this tool in my membership community, I left the link right above so you can join. You can join all of our amazing people who are making sales, learn the same process, scale these designs, list today your Valentine's Day products so you can start selling. All right, let's see what we were able to get as a result. Here's our image reference 1. We know that already. Here's our image 2 with these Highland cows, something different. And this is what we were able to get. All right, this one here didn't change too much. Okay, great. I get it. This one here didn't change too much. Okay, I get it. But I like this one here. This one was able to change a little bit, so it didn't change too much. Like I said, we're doing this live together. So let's give some more direction to this. What I like to do too, if I am finding that it's not generated according to how I like, just simply switch the designs. Notice here how I was able to take image reference 1 and make it down to 2. I was able to take image reference 2 and make it into image reference 1. Doing this live with you so you can see my process and my work through and my walkthrough, because again, AI is a tool. So let's see what we were able to get. All right, so we got a couple of things that was different here. Again, we didn't give the AI any direction. Again, I like creating in areas of 4s because, as you can see, you never know which one's going to sell well. So give yourself some more options. But here's what we were able to do. When things didn't work out for me in regards to merging 2 things together, I just switched them up. And this is what we were able to get. You can see some of the touches of the second image here with the hearts in the flowers. This one here got in some presents here. We can give more direction to the AI, and I'll share with you how to do that here. So we were able to get this design. That one came out nice to me. This one came out nice as well. We can remove the green background, but I like the area and direction it was going here. I love the hearts are still there, and I like this one here. Again, I didn't say make it a Highland cow, but it gave me some other animals. We can definitely switch that up and move that around. Now, here's the thing. You might say, okay, but these designs are not necessarily what I want to do. Still save them. Still save them to your cart. Why is that? Because here's the cool part. When I jump back into my design folder, and I have my own digital asset. Let's just say, for instance, if I like this one here, but I don't like the presence, right? I don't like the presence. I can go into Remix Studio. I can go into Custom Prompt, and I can say remove the presence. I can say make them large hearts instead, right? So here we are. Now we're using our own digital asset. Maybe a part of the design we like, but maybe we didn't like all of it, right? We said, all right, I don't like the little, the gifts. Maybe you do. But I say, hey, change those things out and just simply make those into a heart. Now let's keep working with this as well. Let's go back a little bit further. Let's maybe add in another reference here. Maybe we're going to add in this duck here that says goose. Goosebumps obviously is geared towards the winter season. Let's go ahead and switch this up a little bit here. Add in this as a secondary reference image. I'm going to take this. And I'm just going to say, instead of us keeping this as it is, I'm just going to say, make this into a Valentine's Day theme. Make this into a Valentine's Day theme. So here we have basic prompt here, pre-prompt, white background. I'm going to put in here, make this about Valentine's Day. If I can spell today. All right, make this about Valentine's Day theme. And we're going to say, keep the goose. Here's the reference image, Christmas. We're going to say, make this about Valentine's Day, keep the goose, 4 variations. We'll let that work. And this is how I like to work. I like to work on multiple things at the same time because I want to see which ones I can get and gather to create great designs from it. All right. And look at what we were able to do. This is why I say don't give up if you're not getting the best designs. That's why I like going live with AI. Some people don't do that, but I like doing that because I like to share with you my work through and my walkthrough. So here's what we were able to work from. So remember, we had the Highland cows with the gifts on the side. Great. We simply said remove the presents and make them large hearts. And now look at what we were able to get. I think that came out well. I think that came out great. Again, this one here was able to bring in some hearts with our design. I think that came out well. I think that came out great. This one here, able to switch that up. And you can see how you were really able to remix your own digital assets. And again, all these things based upon what we have seen to work well can do extremely well on Etsy. Again, we saw that the Highland cows, hiding behind the little wall here has done well. Again, we can change this up, remix this up, bring in something new, keep the same layer of the Highland cows because we have seen that to work well. We take it in and what it has worked and bridging this into other areas. And again, without any major prompting, we was able to get this. And I think this is a great place to start creating and start selling, in my humble opinion. Again, we can go back to our example here. We said make this about Valentine's Day theme here. And as you can see, this one here brought in some very nice heart themes, Valentine's Day. Again, we can give more direction in regards to the scarf or whatever here, but you can see how easy this is to definitely change these things up to bring some Valentine's Day type of things within this space here. Now, let's go a little bit further here. Let's go a little bit further in regards to some text. Now, I know for certain AIs, text is a struggle. Text is a struggle, right? So let me share with you the example we were able to do from one of the designs I already made. So here is a design that came out, I think, extremely well, right? This one says love never fails, focusing on, like I said, Christian themes here. But if I were to remix this, and let's just say, for instance, I don't want a Christian theme. Maybe I want this to be focused on teachers. Again, when I have a reference image, either you get it from your own digital asset, or you find this on Etsy, or Amazon, or Walmart, or Target, or Pinterest, the same process applies. Maybe if I want this to be focused on a teacher, why? Because teachers love showcasing seasonal things on their t-shirts. So all I got to do here is make this about teachers, right? Make this about teachers. Scale this up to 4. I like doing 4s. And if this is helpful, let me know. If you have any aha moments, or like, I didn't know it was that easy, or that I didn't know I could do reference images, or I didn't know I can merge 2 things together, or I didn't know I'm able to, redesign my own digital asset. If anything is an aha moment for you in our demo as we finish up and close up our time together, definitely let me know. But again, this is what we were able to gather. Here's the thing here. We didn't give the AI any prompt in regards to what phrase to use. We could, and I'll share with you how to do that. But we didn't give the AI any phrase to use. We just said, make this about a teacher. Here's the original prompt that we had here with our remix design asset. And this is what we were able to get. And again, as you can see here, again, we didn't say focus on Valentine's Day. We could, but it did change us about teachers. But as you can see, some of the same elements, some of the same themes definitely crossed over. And this is just how easy it is to create these type of high quality designs. We can go here a little bit further. And we can say make this in the make this to the Valentine's Day theme. And as you can see, what we have here, we're going to go ahead and hit generate and see what we get as a result. Once again, if you do want to get access to all of these tools, all the prompting, all of the images you can use yourself to start remixing, again, we have this within our membership community. It really makes it easy. So for you to see keywords to use, if you do want to get the prompts, we do share with you all the prompts as well. So we just don't share with you the images. We do daily prompts here. We give you the images, but also the long prompts if you want that. We also give you the keywords to use. And again, you can simply click on this and start remixing this into the Remix Studio. And this is what we were able to gather. Of course, I'm doing this with you live, but you can definitely spend some time yourself and really get some great results. As you can see here, all these things came from our Remix Studio, like we're talking about in today's video. So again, really easy to get these up and to scale these out, in my humble opinion, because I play with a lot of tools. So in my humble opinion here. All right, so we can see this one came out very well here. Again, this one focused on teachers. Obviously, focused on teachers planting seeds. That's what they do here. But as you can see, this definitely came out very well for a Valentine's Day theme. And I think this could do well for us moving forward. So there's a lot of opportunities, right? When you start seeing on Etsy the opportunities to really scale this out into different areas and different niches, and to bring this into a space where, again, things are selling well. I think this is a huge opportunity for you to get on Etsy, to find what is selling well, to definitely merge things over into high quality products and start doing well. Now, one final design I want to share with you is this design with this type of yarn style that's doing well. Let me know if you have sold anything with the yarn style before. Again, yarn styles have done extremely well, and I know this could do well for us as well. If we have found a yarn style to do well, again, same thing as we did before. Let's just say, for instance, this bear has done extremely well, right? This bear has done extremely well here. When I reset everything, I'm going to go ahead and plug this bear in as our reference image. And let's just say we want this type of yarn theme. Let's just say we want this type of yarn theme here. And let's go ahead and pick a trademark product that we're not going to copy, but we're just going to use as a design reference here. And thank you so much for Jackie on with us as well. Jackie says, is that a trending color palette, mint green with pink? Yes, it is. And I would say how I was able to get that is because I go back to my example here. Great question, Jackie. So everything I'm doing here is all based upon bestsellers, right? Everything I'm sharing with you. So this type of theme here with this mint color, this pink, and this red all came about from best-selling products. We remixed them, we merged them over into new design styles, design themes, and trends, and we were able to create our own variations from this. So anything and everything, even with the, if I can zoom in a little bit, even with that type of grungy type of distorted style here, that is also into the AI design, because it's all based upon, again, what is so well. And then we're just remixing this, changing this up, adding new things to this. And again, everything I'm sharing with you was made with the same process I'm sharing with you. So again, it grabbed the reference image. It was able to see that it was for a nurse shirt. But I said, let's make this for a Christian t-shirt. Let's add in some hearts here, right? Let's add in some retro stars, because I seen the retro stars were doing well. So we're able to merge these things in together. And again, it learns from the image reference what color palette, right? What color palette, right? So Lisa says, yes, so yarn designs for Christmas. Great point. Whatever sold for Christmas, definitely merge over here. Barbara says, if you're part of the membership, we learn these tricks tricks of the trade all the time. Yes, Barbara, thank you for sharing that. This is nothing new to our members. This is what we've been talking about for the last like 8 months, right? And that's why they are gaining sales. But because we're doing this as a free coaching call for all of our friends who might be on the sidelines looking in, this is common knowledge for us in the membership. So sorry for our members. It might be a little redundant. Hopefully it can kind of confirm your designs. But for those who are on the sidelines, maybe seeing my videos and looking in and peeking in and trying to see what it's all about and see really how it works in real time, that's the goal of today's video. In a real time workflow, you're able to see this. All right. So let's go ahead and remix this. I'm going to let the AI know specifically to grab in that yarn style of image 2. So I'm going to say use the yarn style from image 2 with the bear design from image 1. I mean, we're doing this live together, right? Doing this live together. Jackie says, thank you, Jay. I'm so happy it was helpful, Jackie. Let's go ahead and grab this here and see what we're able to get. Again, also, too, let me know, for those who are in the membership, have you used Creative Prompt to create your yarn design? I know I have, but let me know if you were able to get some great yarn designs from the Creative Prompt tool. All right, so look at what we were able to get here. This one specifically, right? This one specifically brought in that yarn type of style that worked well. Still brought in that type of color palette that we grabbed from the bear. But the overall point here is that you can definitely merge in that yarn type of style to do extremely well over into your space here that can just really blow up your sales here. And again, if you have a hard time doing this type of yarn styles, definitely could be a great space for you to build these products out, right? Definitely took upon that same type of watercolor palette here and kind of blend over that yarn style over here. If you do want to be really strong with the yarn style, definitely say remove the color, watercolor from image 1 to really be true to image 2 yarn style if you want. Again, there's a lot here you can do, but I'm just sharing with you the possibilities of getting away from those long prompts, getting away from trying to grab prompts from here and grab prompts from here, trying to tell ChatGPT to describe this for me. Just plug in that image and go crazy and go wild, and let's see what we get. And again, you can always move image 1 over into image 2 and get some great designs from there, right? And Barbara says, yes, so several yarn style PNGs. Now, here's the cool part. Like I said, we're not going to be too long. The major thing was for you to understand how to find these design trends, knowing what to sell. The goal of today's video was to share with you how to take your design idea, confirm it, and test it with data like we learned from Etsy here. Look at that hot red by simply adding things to the cart. And then we talked about how to remix them, how to bridge them out. Hopefully that was encouraging to you. If you don't want to have those prompts, you just want to just create something of great use, you can definitely do that. And then we'll get down into how to do the SEO, because I want to share with you how easy that is as well. But before we leave the design area, before we leave the design space, I want to share with you what I just did here. All I did was switched out this bear to be image 2 and old Snoopy here to be image 1. But I still told that prompt that my main focus is my bear, right? Simple prompt. And look just how it was really able to kind of nail in that type of yarn style we saw to do well. So that's why I said switching those images over can give you a whole different design result without any prompting. I'm going to stress that, without any prompting here. So again, definitely changes the game. This could easily be one to sell well on Etsy. And let me give you the mindset I have and the excitement that I have when I see this. How can I say this is a great product that can sell well on Etsy? How can I say such a thing? Well, because we just came over and found that bear design to do well, right? I don't know where it is now. It's kind of running from me. But we just grabbed over that bear reference right here. We just grabbed this bear that is doing well. This bear is a popular now. I'm kind of doing a review here. This bear is a popular now. That means it just released and it's gaining sales already. This bear actually has 32 people have it in the cart. And this little bear that really is not a personal interest to me, but it is to the market. So I need to care about that. And this bear has brought in 7 sales in the last 24 hours. Okay, I can see based upon old Snoopy here that people really like this yarn type of style. Now, I'm not going to sell Snoopy because that's trademark, but I do know why people are buying this, because the yarn style has done well for Christmas, and that has been confirmed in other areas here. So what did I just do? I took 2 demanding products that are obviously making sales and created something new Again, create within the bounds of what works. And I can say, man, this is a great contender to sell well because we have one like this that's watercolor, and we have a Snoopy design that has the same stitching. And all we did was brought two things together. And if we do this right, list this right, mock this up right, position this well right with our launching strategies we talk about all the time in the membership, where we said just don't launch, but launch to be attractive. Launch with a sales discount, right? Launch with a 24-hour sale so you can have that green timer. Launch your price low to get initial interaction so that you can grow organically, because believe it or not, Etsy ranks you many times by sellers, by shopper interaction. The more people who look at your product, the more people who clicks on it, add it to the cart, favorite, that boosts you up higher into the Etsy algorithm, which is why using Etsy ads are so important, because it helps your product get visible very quickly so shoppers can interact it, where then your organic listing will overall grow. And a little side note, if you didn't know this, everyone's search results are different. Why is that? Because when you start clicking on things in your account and you leave, maybe go shopping for the day and come back home and you jump back on Etsy, Etsy's going to kind of share with you where you left off, what design styles might meet your request based upon your other clicks and searches and what have you. So to say all that, we know based upon data, this is a great contender of a product that can sell well. So I want to share with you my mindset behind that and some of our teachings and our coachings and our one-to-one mentorships that we have. Because when I do these shop reviews, these are the type of conversations I'm having with people. And one of our members can share with you that her sales grew almost, overnight in a couple of days by making just simple changes I talked about, because this is the process by which things are made, right? Things are growing in sales. So if you like any of that, jump into the membership. As my members have already said, we talk about this stuff all the time. All right. So now we're here. We're almost done with our live training. What do we do when we have our designs being made? Well, obviously we have to talk about mock-ups. If you don't know, VidMock is a great place. VidMock is a great place for you to create high quality mock-ups. You don't have to have a paid subscription to use their mockups. They have a lot of mockups to use, but one of the reasons why I use VidMock is because, as you can see here, vidmock.io is where this is coming from. It really makes your product stand out, right? How can you be competitive with all these people that's selling products? Well, believe it or not, Etsy allows you to play video right there on your product. And when someone hovers over your product, guess what? It plays the video right there. Isn't that pretty cool? The problem with that is, however, when we are moving over to our mockup stage, is that usually, we all kind of use the same mockups, right? Because if it works for somebody else, it can work for me. So sometimes our product get kind of, not visible to the human eye. It might be there on screen, but we kind of miss those clicks because there's nothing making our product stand out. What I teach in my membership is have a badge, some type of way to communicate a value point. If you're selling P&G, offer something for free. If you're selling t-shirts or physical products, say that you got fast shipping or great quality or great print or it fits perfect. You got to see what are the reviewers are saying, what matters most to them. And when you see the common thread of what people are saying from the reviews, you know what type of conversation to have on text in regards to your mockups. There's a lot there. We have our whole Etsy University that spends literally, 10 module videos going over that. But I'm just trying to give you, how to go to that next stage. Get a good mockup, communicate key value points, and use video, right? Video is just going to be what's going to help you stop that scroll. You just want to stop that scroll, right? So here's a great example of this, right? If I'm hovering over this one, this person really don't even have a good mock-up, to be quite honest. But because they have a video, maybe that's why they're gaining sales, right? So here's the cool part about this. We can now utilize VidMock to create video. And the cool part about this is that let's just say you already have a mock-up image. Like this was the mock-up image I already had. It was already done, like made months ago. But the cool thing about this is all I had to do was copy my mock-up image that was already made from my listing and just paste it into VidMock, and it made a video. And that's easy. That's easy. No prompting, trying to cut and paste, edit the video. It's all done. Just copy, paste my mockups that have already been made. Or if I want to use mockups, use VidMock. They have a ton of mockups you can use. So again, I'm not going to spend time creating mockups because I know we know how to do that, but I am going to spend time talking about how just to make your thing stand out. As you can see, this was the regular mock-up here, still image. But when you plug this into VidMock, it turns that into a very nice video. And it uses a very high quality AI model to get life-like movement, not those glitchy type of movements that's, this prompts are built in to give you life-like movement. All right. So that's VidMock for you. You want to check it out. Vidmock.io. Vidmock.io is where it's at. Vidmock.io is where it's at. All right. So that's the mock-ups there. That's honestly what I would use personally. Moving on to our next and final stage here. How do we list this well? Well, it's jumping back over to the Creative Prompt tool. I'm going to save all of my designs here before we close. Jump back over to my Creative Prompt tool. And now I want to go ahead and give some time to the Smart SEO. So the Smart SEO is designed to give us 2 titles, 2 tags, and the first sentence of our description. Now let's talk about why that matters. Why 2, 2, 1, right? I like to have variations. You never know which one is going to sell well. So I like to have an option of which title I choose. I like to have an option in regards to, again, the tags I use. I think we have 1 set of tags, but we also have the first line of the listing, because Etsy tells us that they also look at the first line of the listing, the first line of the description, to help with SEO value as well. So again, the cool part about this is that not every shop is doing that, right? So if I scroll down to some of these shops here, again, as you can see, this first line is talking about P&G, which is cool, it's fine. But Etsy tells us that we can do a little bit more better with our SEO if we make sure the first line of the listing is actually SEO focused. A lot of people just copy the title, but Etsy tells us it has to be, conversational language, and that's what Smart SEO does. So the reason why I'm spending so much time talking about that is so that you know what you're looking at when you see the results. So here's the cool thing: if I am selling a T-shirt, say I'm selling a T-shirt here, I can go into the Smart SEO tool. Let's just say, for instance, I know the keywords I want to use. Maybe if I found that this maybe this heart design is doing well, and I know that the phrase Christian Valentine's Day is kind of the main focus I want to have. Again, I'm doing my keywords based upon data as well. I can say to the Smart SEO, this is my target niche phrase I want to have. Just make sure you have this in the title in some way, shape, or form. The cool thing about this is all I have to do is hit generate T-shirt SEO, and what this would do based upon the structure that works well for me. Okay, it would give me title variation 1, title variation 2. It's a little brighter. Title variation 1, title variation 2. And you can see here that I told it that the Christian Valentine's Day, just that phrase is important to me because that's the niche I want to focus on. And notice how it was able to fill in all the other things itself in a very helpful way. So notice here, the first line says Christian Valentine's Day. That's what I wanted. And it says shirt for couples. Well, I didn't tell you anything else, but we can go on with that. It said Faith Tea. I didn't say anything about faith, but it was able to identify, well, this is in the Christian niche, so maybe faith would work there. Gift for believers, love T-shirt, religious Valentine's Day tee, Christian love shirt. What we see here is that this gets you about 80 to 90% of the way there. 80 to 90% of the way there. This helps you not start from scratch every time you're trying to list your products with SEO. It gets you between 80 to 90% of the way there. Title variation 2 is another variation I found to work well for me. So it says Christian Valentine's Day shirt, faith tee for couples, religious gift, love T-shirt, believers tee, Christian shirt for Valentine's. Again, it tries to use all of the character count within reason that Etsy gives us. But again, it gets you between 80 to 90% of the way there. You can always go in and put the human touch on this by going in and hitting edit, and you can make any change that you want. So let's just say, for instance, if we go up here and say, wait a minute, I'm not selling anything for couples. Well, I can go here and I say I'm doing it for, let's just say moms, right? Go in here and just switch it. I say moms, right? And boom, it's just that easy. It's just that simple to change it out. And again, the overall point of this is just don't start from scratch. You want to utilize a great structure to help you gain sales. Same thing as well. We can see the tags are there as well. Notice here how it brought in things regarding the season, Valentine's Day in the niche, Christian. That's what we just grabbed over here. And we were able to get some really good tags, right? From what we know to do well. And remember how I said we want to make sure that the first line of our description is SEO focused. We were able to get that as well. Here is a listing description. This gave us a sentence structure that's bringing in our micro niche key phrase, but in a way that, again, is a sentence structure, not copying our title, not being redundant there, but a sentence focused structure in regards to this. So to me, that's helpful. I'm all about saving time. I'm all about bulking. I'm all about scaling, because at the end of the day, friends, Etsy is a numbers game, right? Yes, you have a lot of shops you have a few shops that maybe only have 100 products and made $100,000 in sales. Great. But that's not the norm. That's not the norm. Okay. You gotta list products. And then here's my little note to you. If I can speak life to you, some way of encouragement. If you feel like, Jay, I listed 100 products and I'm not getting any sales. Well, if this is your first time, what I have learned is your first anything is your worst of everything, right? The first things you list are going to be kind of your worst things you list because you're learning. So don't measure your success on your start. If you're starting for the first time and you're listing products and you're not getting sales, don't walk out the door and say it doesn't work, because your first listings will always be your worst listings. What I tell my folks in the membership all the time, don't focus on profit right now, focus on progress. Because if you focus on progress as a natural byproduct, profit will come. If you focus on learning well and designing well and launching well and identifying trends and terms, if you focus on progress as a byproduct, profit is going to come. But when you only focus on profit, it's going to stop your progress, because you feel like this isn't working. I'm not making sales. I'm not gaining any profit. Therefore, I want to stop my progress. But progress will never stop profit. Progress will always, as a byproduct, result in profit, because you're always learning and you're always in, which is why many of my members gain sales within a few short. You can see all the reviews. If you're on my email list, I know you have seen my reviews of my members and their testimonies of folks gaining sales within a few months or 3 months or what have you. And those who are here, they can attest to that. But the overall point here, before I finish, if you feel like you're not getting sales, I would encourage you to learn a system that works. Don't write yourself off and say it's not working for me. It's working for a lot of people. Maybe you just need to tweak certain areas and really focus on your progression, not more so your profit. Don't measure your success by your start. Measure your success based upon your progress. Measure your success based upon your journey. And over time, the overall goal is get 1% better. Get 1% better. If you learn anything from today's live training, friend, guess what? That's progress. You got 1% better. You can go back to your computer and say, all right, I know Jay did this. I know Jay added things to the cart and found this. That's going to make a huge difference, because you don't have to be perfect to make sales, but you got to make progress to make sales. And that's what I want to share with you. So again, here's a smart SEO today. Very, very easy. As I close, I just kind of want to share with you what's also helpful too. So let's just say, for instance, if you don't know what terms to use, maybe you're just lost and you just want to upload a design. You can actually upload a design yourself. Right, here's one that we made. I simply uploaded a design. I don't have any of these phrases here. I don't have anything, but I simply uploaded my design, and my smart SEO tool is able to analyze my design, is able to analyze the elements, the words, the terms, the animals in it. And just by simply uploading my design, I'm able to get a better picture of what my title should be. Notice here how it says puppy love shirt for dog lovers. I would never have even started off with that. Because again, if you're struggling with titles, you have a lot of designs, just plug them into the smart SEO tool, and let the smart SEO tool that's trained to understand titles and tags from Etsy, let it identify some common elements, themes, or traits, and help you build a title you can change and build upon versus starting from scratch. So listen to what it did. Puppy love shirt for dog lovers. Great beginning title here. Cute pet tee, gift for dog owners, love puppy t-shirt. Great thing here. Heart dog lover tee, great. Puppy love gift t-shirt. That's a great title to start off with. And of course, always test that title with best-selling products. Of course, just make sure that the data proves genuine. But that's a great place to start, as opposed to having a blank place to start. That makes sense. So again, we can copy this, we can regenerate this, we can change this as we already learned. Great titles and tags as well. Everything that's involving what my design was, all about puppies and all about Valentine's Day. So I brought that thing in there as well. And I still have my first line of my description there. This puppy love shirt is perfect for a dog lover and makes a great gift for anyone who loves cute puppies. And here's what the design is. Perfect there. Perfect. So again, we have this option to do this also in bulk as well. So if you have a ton of designs you want to list and upload, and if you want to just paste them in here, let's just say, for instance, let's see here. If I'm working from my designs, right? Working from my designs, and I'm like, man, I got this thing here I want to do. I can copy this over into the Smart SEO tool. I can paste that in there. That's set to go. Maybe I'm working on another one here. Maybe I'm working on maybe this bear type of design. I'm about to remove the background. If I'm working on this bear type of design here, boom, I can go into Smart SEO, paste this in here, and you can do this as much as you want. I can select what category I'm selling for, PNG, Tumblr wrap, t-shirts for now, t-shirt mode, or maybe PNG mode. Doesn't matter really. Hit generate, and boom, what it would do, it will take it one by one. It would take it one by one and start building this out for you. So again, the same thing as we did before when we did this in isolation with one, right? Is able to do this in bulk. I'm always a fan of bulk. I like creating in bulk. I like mocking up in bulk. I like removing background, upscaling in bulk, all those type of things. I like doing my SEO in bulk. And as you can see here, we just did two, but we were able to really get the same type of layout here. Here's our first design. Move my screen over a little bit. Here's my first design here. See, it said grandma. That's great. And here's my second design here. Look at that. It's a nice little bear. But here's the thing. I didn't put any phrases in here. It was able to look at this, identify what it is, and give me a great starting place so I don't start from a blank place. So it says knitting bear shirt for crafters. Okay, great. I can see some good keywords here. Yarn, that's great. Crafty bear, okay. Knitting, okay. Made with love, great. I can go in here with the human touch, edit this, make some changes. I think with this one here is very good. It says grandma, and it says grandma shirt for family, cute grandma tee. Really, the only thing that this title is missing is Valentine's Day, because everything else is very, very strong. So Valentine's Day grandma shirt, right? Cute Valentine grandma tee. That's the only thing that's really missing here. So again, I'm a huge fan of not starting from blank, but starting from a place that can make changes, and that definitely gets you there. So hey friend, that's all the time we have for today's video. If that was any way encouraging or helpful, let me know. If you've been here tracking with me from the beginning of our live time, I hope it was helpful. If you just popped in and maybe grabbed the last tail whip of this, or maybe started in the middle and kind of got a piece of this, I'm going to leave this up for you to just watch and learn from as well. Again, if you want to get access to all the things we're talking about in the membership, access to all the daily prompts, the creative tools, the 80 video Etsy university that we have. Yes, we have an Etsy course university. It covers everything, literally everything you need from start to finish to make sales. I have had people who have made tons of sales by doing that. Taking that course, and by taking that course, they were able to create amazing designs, right? Amazing designs from that. And again, we have a lot of things as well lined up in our membership. We do daily trainings, we do remix challenges. All of my members get 150 design prompts. That means they're able to create 150 designs within a month. It's all there for you. Right? We have remix challenges. You know, you show me a remix from a design I give you, you get to win free points, right? 50, 25 extra design credit points. I mean, think about that, right? One of those could be your best selling products. Coach's Corner, live trainings, coaching one-on-ones, a lot here, right? So I just want to share with you what is available to you. I want to share with you that you hitting your goals is possible. But the thing about it is, man, at the end of the day, there's certain phrases that helps me have the mind to move forward. And one of the things that helps me move forward is understanding that action takers are money makers, right? That's a wealth building mindset. Action takers are money makers. If you're not taking action, you're still where you are. You're not making progress. You're just kind of living where you are. But one of the things you want to do is to move from where you are to where you want to be. One of the things that I read in the Bible, and I'll end with this, is that when early on, when Joshua, one of Moses's students, had to move God's people over into the promised land, right? They was in that wilderness, wasn't getting nothing helpful, wasn't where God wanted them to be for a long time, but a land of preparation. As they were moving over to that promised land, God told the leaders of that time, I will give you whatever land you walk on, right? This is the place of promise. It's all available for you, but I'm only going to give you what you walk on. In other words, you will get what you walk on if you make steps in that direction. So my encouragement to you is action takers are money makers. When I am in motion, opportunities start birthing around me. I have to start moving in the direction that I want to at the end of the year, the end of the 6 months, where I want to be. I can't get to the land of promise if I'm still in the land of complacency. Right? I can't get to the land of promise if I'm still in the land of complacency. I got to make progress, and I got to believe that I'm going to get whatever I walk on. So let me start walking in that direction, start learning, start making progress, get 1% better. And over time, you will start seeing that growth. So, hey, I hope that gave you some encouragement. I hope that gave you some excitement, some motivation to move on. That's where my members are. That's what we get all the time, right? My members know that's what we get all the time. And that helps us move forward. So, hey, as always, my friends, I hope you guys have a beautiful and wonderful Tuesday. Jump on the creative prompt, get into the membership. I can't wait to see what you create from here. And as always, my friends, I'll see you in the next video.